Yo, what is going on, Cover One crew? Welcome back to the show. Hope everybody's great. I'm good as usual. And you know, I could not go an entire offseason without discussing one of my favorite players to come out of this past draft. And his name, I'm coining him the nickname, the Jitterbug. And I mean, okay, we know who this guy is. It is Deuce Vaughn, K-State, Kansas State. This guy was an absolute dynamo. And if you missed any contest for Kansas State when Deuce Vaughn was on the field, I'm telling you, I feel sorry for you because he was a human highlight reel. And I mean, okay, the valley for him to make it into the pros is going to be vast, but he is such a good talent that I do believe the Jitterbug is going to be able to be on this field in the pros. Who knows for how long, but I do like the talent and the service, so we will discuss today's scouting report, running back Deuce Vaughn. So before we get started, let me remind y'all to go sign up to Underdog Fantasy. If you guys love your best ball and pick'em challenges, definitely go sign up for that account, man. Use promo code COVER1. The link is in the description. Go sign up today. Terms apply. Must be 18 years plus to enter to play, man. But we're talking a little Deuce Vaughn Jitterbug. That is my nickname. Use it as you want, but it is mine. Give me credit for that because Jitterbug is going to make some noise in this NFL. Let's talk about the team that drafted him, those Dallas Cowboys. Round 6, pick 35. Okay, and the cool story was that his pops was actually on the phone and it was the one to draft him for these Cowboys, which was a pretty cool story. Would he not have gotten drafted is the question mark if the Cowboys didn't have his dad on the roster as a coach. Maybe, maybe not, but I do believe he would have at least got snagged by somebody in the 7th round, even though a lot of people were pegging him to be the undrafted rookie free agent, and there's a reason for that, even though his skill set is extremely solid. But for this Dallas Cowboys depth chart, we know we got Tony Pollard, Rojo. He's on suspension right now. Ronald Jones for the PEDs. Stay off the PED juice, Rojo. I mean, this is what it is. Malik Davis, you got Rico Suave, Rico Dwaddle, and then Hunter. I can never pronounce that man's last name. I'm not even going to try, but I am putting Zeke Elliott down here as a potential question mark. Yes, he is not on this Dallas Cowboy roster as we sit today, but there is rumor and potential that Jerry Jones could be calling his services as his preseason does wear on. We'll see. If Zeke does come back to the fold, this makes it that much harder for Deuce Vaughn to stay on this roster, but with Rojo suspended, Malik Davis being likely the next in command after a Tony Pollard, I do believe Deuce Vaughn can beat out the other two for the 4th roster spot as a running back. There is no question. Could he be a practice squad player? 110%. He may reside there for quite some time. But the way that he's already playing Deuce Vaughn in training camp, he is turning heads, he is making plays, and he could potentially be that safety blanket that Dak Prescott requires in that pass game to spell somebody like a Tony Pollard. I'm telling y'all, could be that 3-back set we're looking for like we got used to with these Philadelphia Eagles over the years. Dallas may be taking a page out of the Eagles playbook in that respect, especially if Zeke does not come back to the fold. Deuce Vaughn could definitely be a fixture in this Dallas Cowboys offense, but for some measurables, as per always, if you do not know Deuce Vaughn, this is the issue. 5'5", 179, man. It's the stature. This is the whole problem with Deuce Vaughn. If you've seen some highlights already, there's been jokes cracked about him saying, thanks, they let my kid practice today. It's hurtful, man. Deuce Vaughn is a good, talented player. Leave the man alone. He is age 21. Statistically speaking, in his college career, he was a dynamo. 37 games, 651 in attempts, 3,604 rushing yards, 5.5 on the average, and a nice 34 touchdown rushes for Deuce Vaughn. He's no slouch in this receiving game either, man. 116 for 1,280 and 9 receiving touchdowns. Deuce is truly the real deal, all-purpose running back. If he just was 5'10", everybody would be singing the different story on this man right now. He likely could have gone in anywhere from the 3rd to 4th round, where he was 6th to undrafted rookie free agent in this past draft. I'm telling y'all, Deuce has the skills. So let's talk about these pros that this man possesses right now. Absolute playmaker, supreme athletic ability, and he is the definition of heart. When you're looking for a player, obviously for the stature, this is going to be the biggest problem that he has. He is the heart, man. He just continues to grind. Everyone doubts the man, and he continues to pile up the stats. At K-State, he was an absolute dynamo. If you did not watch any of those games, I do feel sorry for y'all. Go back, watch some Kansas State contests with Deuce Vaughn. You will be impressed, man. Explosive speed, that straight line speed. 4.44 was the fastest time that I could find on the man, but he's likely anywhere from 4.44 to the 4.52. Anywhere in that respect, but the tape speed definitely does translate based on the 4.44. Will he get caught in the open field? Yes, I've seen it from time to time. Can he break free? Abso-freaking-lutely, this mofo is going to the house when he does have the opportunity. Great burst and acceleration for a Deuce Vaughn also is here. No question about it. It does reside in his game. He can cut on a dime with no speed loss on those cuts. The great shake and juke. Lateral agility is absolutely supreme. He's making people miss all over the field, especially in change of direction. The lateral agility is an absolute plus grade for me because he is able, with the athletic ability, whether or not he's able to make a cut, jump, hop, and he's doing it all to make these tacklers evaded, he does it extremely well. No issues in that respect. For the vision aspect, it's good. Is it elite? No, but it's good enough. He understands where the gaps are. He understands where to go and where to, set up his blockers as well. He does have okay patience. I don't want to put it down here as a top-end pro, but he's got the vision, which also aids in the patience. He does this little slide, with the back foot when he is trying to be a little bit more patient. It is a tell, and defenders will pick up on that, and they will collapse on this man, but he can go inside and outside. There's no problem in this respect, no inhibitor in his game. Also, when it comes to going inside and outside, he does get skinny and small, which makes him very hard target to find behind the line of scrimmage, which is also a big positive for a smaller gentleman. He is a fantastic receiving back, like I mentioned, statistically, natural hand catcher. He could rival some of these wide receivers in the NFL with his hands. No kidding about that. He is truly that good in the receiving game, and this is where his role could be carved out with these Dallas Cowboys, like I'm saying, being that safety blanket for a Dak Prescott. He has surprisingly good strength in the, when it comes to, breaking tackles when he's initiated with contact. He put up 17 reps in the bench press at the combine, so you got to understand he's not just this, smaller type of dude. He is somewhat relatively stout also, so he can initiate contact. He can, have some leg force. Will he get pushed back 110%? But he does have enough force. He's got a decent stiff arm as well, so you can't put that out of his game whatsoever. He does have that, repertoire in his game as well. Very much surprisingly good strength. Is he ever going to be on the elite categories? Probably not, because the stature is what it is, but for his size, he does this very well also. He can handle heavy volume like we've seen in his time. Over almost 700 carries with Kansas State with the Wildcats, so no injuries. That was a big one as well. No real injuries to this man. Played almost every single down in his college career, and he put up those amazing statistics like I mentioned, but the 1936 in all-purpose yards in 2022 is where you gotta say you can utilize this man when you get him free in open space, and K-State was extremely good at doing this. You get him on the wheel routes, you get him on the hook routes, the slants, the screens, and you put him in the receiving game. He is definitely gonna make plays for y'all. When he left college football, his national rank, man, third in all-purpose yards, 135.9 per game. This is what Deuce was giving you, man. Fifth in total all-purpose yards, 5,029, and total TDs at 43. Fifth nationally. This is unbelievable statistics for a guy who is 5'5" and only 179. Is he going to be Darren Sproles 2.0? It is possible. He did also follow Darren Sproles over there, saying that it was kind of like his hero type of player going into college football. Darren Sproles definitely was a Wildcat alum as well, so there was support in this room for Deuce Vaughn because they definitely utilized him properly and understood how to scheme him up in this offense. But for some cons, there's the thing, okay? You're looking for a lot of cons in the guy's game, but there aren't a lot outside of being the undersized player and running back. 5'5", 179 is not to get excited about. He will struggle with this his entire NFL career, however long that does last. I'm not saying he's going to get on the field regularly. I'm not saying that that's going to happen. Darren Sproles did it. We saw, Jaquiz Rodgers do it for some time. I do believe there is room for Darren Sproles, even at this size, with these Dallas Cowboys Cowboys to at least etch out a role, whether it be like a Philadelphia Eagles type of situation, where they utilize 3 running backs, majority of the time these past several years. Maybe the Dallas Cowboys say, okay, we've seen enough with Zeke Elliott. Now it's time we go to this 3-back rotation and we can be a little bit more dynamic that way. It is very possible. Deuce can dance a little too much when he's trying to locate his gaps. It is a problem. It is a concern. And if he's going to dance in the NFL, I mean, he's going to get stuck right in that backfield and it's going to be no bueno, man. I'm not kidding about that. Slower acceleration on the outside runs. It is seen. Can he break free and get past a lot of these linebackers and safeties that are pinching in? Yes, he can. I've seen him do it as well, but he does have slower get off when he is going full-blown outside. Off tackle, there doesn't seem to be any loss of it, but when he's doing the outside pulls, you can see it. There is some accelerators that do lose there. Subsequently, stop-start burst in the open field. It is seen to be, somewhat of a slower takeoff, but it's because he's so good and dynamic with the lateral agility that he is making people miss. Spin moves, cut moves, jump moves, hop cuts. He does all this extremely well, but when the stop-start burst in the open field is there, it is slower, takeoff in the open field post-contact. No kidding about that. Can he get tossed around in pass pro? 110%, but he is got that heart, and he is going to challenge on contact, but he's going to get tossed around, highly likely, and this is probably the biggest issue. If he's going to be the third down receiving back, you got to have some ability in this pass pro. Otherwise, what good are you to a Dak Prescott, right? This is the biggest concern also. So if he can at least blitz pickups too, I mean, it's going to be a very difficult thing. If he can at least stand guard and at least give a chip on these guys coming in after this quarterback, there may be some, positive things we can say about Deuce in this respect, but this will be a very big problem in the pros. Will he have a limited NFL role, the pass-catching back, the 3-back system, like I'm saying, or the gadget type of plays? Very possible, and I think that he is good enough in the pros that he will be able to earn a role, I should say, with these Dallas Cowboys in that respect, but he's got a big hill to climb, but he's so good and explosive. You got to wish this man was even 5'9", 3-4 inches taller, and everybody would be singing the good graces of a Deuce Vaughn, but for grading purposes, he skyrocketed up all the, intangible grades when it comes to skills, skill set, speed, agility, but he loses all that traction when it comes to, strength, size, pass pro, and I mean, you got to be unbiased, man. 65.5% is my grade score on a Deuce Vaughn as we sit today. Excuse me, I am a big fan of this man. It's such a, hard, player to trust at his size and stature because 5'5" is not, even close to prototypical. Some scouts even, took him off the board because they just, they weren't going to even deal with this possibility of holding a roster spot for a player this size. But Deuce Vaughn has skills for days, and I really am rooting for him. Hope he does make it here with these Dallas Cowboys. So there you have it. That is the Jitterbug Deuce Vaughn. And again, like I'm saying, I really hope he finds a way on this Cowboys roster because he does have skills, he does have ability, and potentially it could show out here in the NFL. But nevertheless, as always, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, jump in those comments, give me your thoughts, Dallas Cowboy fans. What do you think of the Deuce Jitterbug Vaughn? You liking him? I mean, you're rooting for him? You want him off the team? Throw it in the comments. Let me know what you guys think, man. Fantasy players, is there possibility that Deuce Vaughn could be something of a receiving PPR back? There's a good question mark as well. Throw it in those comments. But we'll see you next time. I am out.